I'd hitched a lift on a plane taking cloth to Mogadishu, the capital of Somalia. At first glance, this Islamic country, just a short ride from the Middle East, seems a dream for terrorists. But this airport is just amazing. We just landed. It's just a piece of beach. There's no immigration, no passport control. You just get off the plane, walk out, and you're in Somalia. A car from my hotel was waiting.
This one?
They'd brought protection, 2 pickups full of bodyguards.
They sell milk also, this woman.
Do you have a special hotel?
Yes.
Package tour that includes 10 gunmen for the price of a room, and you don't get a cocktail in the beginning, but you get picked up by the airport with 10 gunmen.
Yes, with 10 gunmen, and also, there are more than 10.
10 years ago, the Civil War brought famine, and American troops came as peacekeepers. The Americans left after 19 soldiers were killed in Mogadishu, a story told in the Hollywood film Black Hawk Down. The war continues in Somalia without protection. Every inch of this African country is fought over by rival warlords. 10 years of civil war have reduced Somalia to anarchy and rubble. Now the US are threatening with airstrikes. Will Somalia become Africa's Afghanistan? This part of town is run by the government. They control southern Mogadishu and not much more. Just where I was sitting was a bullet hole. They kidnapped foreign people in this car?
Yeah. They are working UNICEF.
UNICEF people. How many people did they kidnap?
They kidnapped 13 people, but 9 were.
They kidnapped 9 foreigners?
Yeah, and 4 Somali.
And 4 Somali people? The government hasn't paid its officials for 4 months. But a Saudi Arabian charity had stepped in with money for a competition to find out which schoolboys could recite the Quran most beautifully. The Minister for Religion, Mohammed Omar Farah, was on hand to judge the winners. At stake, prizes, each worth about £2. America doesn't recognize the minister's government. They claim it's a 10-year-old boy we'd filmed. Mohammed had won a prize. The organizers said he'd be robbed if he had to walk home. His mother Rukia invited me back for supper.
My name is Rukia Haji Osman.
Okay, yes. Okay, I'm Juliana.
Okay.
Okay. I returned with some bread and fish. Rukia's husband worked far away in northern Somalia. Times were hard. So Rukia is actually one of the women who's been really affected by the closure of Al Barakat and the closure of all the money remittance offices, because her husband used to send her money through that money transfer company, but ever since they've been closed, you say you haven't been able to get any money from him for how many months? 2 months? She and her 3 children were frightened they'd starve. We showed her a picture of bin Laden. The Somali government has banned publication of his picture here. Have you ever seen his picture?
No,
Never.
she has never seen.
Never seen him. The next morning I dashed to the beach that serves as Mogadishu's port. I'd heard fishermen had spotted an American invasion fleet. I soon realized it wasn't true. But this man told me an aircraft had just passed overhead. It's choosing targets for the bombers, he said. The whole place was in turmoil.
This country is just such a rumour mill at the moment. This morning there was a very small plane that was flying over the port, and immediately people were talking about possible US flights and possible US attacks, and everybody just lives in a state of fear at the moment.
A boat started to unload. By chance, it was named the Osama bin Laden.
We've just been asked to leave. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but they said we should just leave now.
The port's owners had panicked when they saw the boat's name. They feared our pictures would bring American bombs.
He's our enemy, America. We don't like bullshit. We are fighting. If he's coming here.
The warlord who rules the north of Mogadishu had a score to settle. He wanted to show me proof that his old enemy, the government, was sheltering terrorists. At the edge of his territory, his gunmen were waiting.
We've just picked up a second carload of militia who are ruling the north of Mogadishu, and that's an area where our militia wouldn't be respected, so we need 2 carloads of gunmen now.
More joined us. Even by Somali standards, the warlord Musa Sudi Yalaho has a fearsome reputation.
This place actually feels really, really different from all the other places that we've visited. It really does feel like a warlord's camp. There's so much militia milling around everywhere, heavy, heavy guns, and it's just got a really funny feel about it.
He fancied himself as the man to lead Somalia's version of the Northern Alliance.
Musa Sudi is just saying in 1995, when the Americans left Mogadishu, they met 3 leaders, and he was actually the last leader who was met by the Americans and talked to before they left Mogadishu. And he's saying now he would like to be the first leader who the Americans meet again, and he would like to cooperate with them further.
In fact, he wanted the US military to help his forces attack the Somali government in the south of the city.
Musa Sudi is saying that the current government is in such shambles because it's got terrorist links and because it is actually financed from Afghanistan.
As for proof, he pulled out an American newspaper article.
Musa Sudi just said, well, the Americans always know more about this, and the American journalists say that there is fundamentalism in Somalia, so it must be right. That's the base of his allegations against the current government. And he doesn't really want to say much more about it. He wants to leave it at quoting the US source, and I think this is the end of the interview.
Suddenly I heard voices speaking English.
Hello.
But it wasn't the CIA, just a UN delegation checking if it was safe for its workers to return to Musa Sudi's territory.
From United Nations Security Coordinator.
But was the CIA on the ground elsewhere in Somalia? They would certainly find eager allies and other warlords willing to talk up terrorism in return for added firepower.
We're going to the cathedral, yeah?
Yeah,
No.
we're going to the cathedral, yes.
Is that the place where they attacked the other journalists?
Yeah, last 2 weeks.
So are we going to be okay?
Yeah, now it's okay. Yeah, we're understanding each other.
I hope you gave them enough money for today.
Early in the Civil War, the cathedral was systematically demolished. It's one place where you can see evidence of Islam at its most militant. In this part of town, no one's in charge. The cathedral was destroyed by Al-Ittihad, the Islamic group the US government fears might offer shelter to Al-Qaeda.
This has destroyed the group of Al-Ittihad last 5 years or 6 years.
So the Muslim fundamentalists, Al-Ittihad,
Yeah, that's what they
destroyed
say,
this.
what they told me, yes.
It wasn't enough to tear down the walls. They even blasted bullets into Christ on the cross. I asked if there were Al-Ittihad gunmen around I could talk to. They said not anymore. It seemed 4 years ago Al-Ittihad lost its territory and its members scattered to the winds. It was in no position to help Al-Qaeda refugees. Then it was time to go.
They've just admitted to not controlling the area 100%, even these guys we're now with and who we've paid, so we just said it's better if we get out of here.
But what I'd heard about Al-Ittihad's collapse and its inability to help Al-Qaeda chimed with what experts had told me before I went into Somalia. In this country, you have to be ready for the unexpected.
We've just had a complete change of plans. There was an incident at the market today, and one of our security guards actually shot somebody's eye out. So we're really worried about retaliation by the victim's clan, and we've decided to leave town for a little while and try and come back when the whole thing has calmed down, the situation has calmed down and we're safer.
We felt the quicker we got out of town, the better. They suggested that we left for the town of Marka. It had been an Al-Ittihad stronghold, but for the moment the government controlled it.
Jaws,
Yeah,
America, can you show that to me on the map?
yeah.
Where it is?
Yes, here is Marka.
Oh, so it's quite a big place.
Yeah, the road is very, very rough, really. It's very, very bad. It's destroyed completely, yes.
Marka has a reputation as a bastion of fundamentalism. I soon heard something I hadn't heard in Mogadishu.
Fuck you, past the Americans. We don't like, we don't need.
One of the guys there was just shouting Osama bin Laden. So can we just see which one it was? Because I just want to know why he was shouting it.
Thank you, Americans come, we will kill one by one.
What was that?
If Americans come in our country, we will kill them one by one. Because we remember the thousands of countries that they have killed in Somalia in 1993. And we are against them, and we are supporting Osama bin Laden because he's a real Muslim, and we are not supporting the Arab leaders.
I knew that a leading fundamentalist intellectual lived here. I got directions to the school he runs. Sheikh Salim told me he and many others in Marka wanted a true Islamic State. But he said neither the town nor Somalia was a haven for terrorists.
He doesn't know of any terrorists in Somalia, and he would like the Americans to come and present proof that there are such people here. It's a question of retaliation. The Americans got defeated in the early 90s, and now they have a bill to settle, a score to settle.
But Sheikh Salim has an opponent in his struggle for the Islamic soul of the town. I'd arranged to meet her. Ah! Her name is Stalina Rouge.
Hi, are you Stalin?
Yes, nice to meet you.
And you?
She runs this orphanage with the help of an Italian aid agency. Boys and girls play football, dance and sing. Fundamentalists don't like it. A while back, someone threw a grenade into the compound. Stalin doesn't believe that her opponents shelter terrorists. They get money from the Middle East, she said, but they are using it to take over the town's schools. Because most Western organizations have pulled out, they face little opposition.
Somalis are destroyed. They are completely down. There is no job, there is no hope. So everyone with a plan coming here can have success. That is why I think that if extremists will come with projects and with intention, they will succeed, because there is no another alternative.
Stalin sent me to a struggling Quranic school she and her Italian backers support. The owner confided a local fundamentalist had offered him a lot of cash to change allegiance. The fundamentalists, he said, were determined people.
So he says they're waging a war on who they call infidels. They're funded by Saudi Arabian countries, the Gulf countries, and he says they're undermining Somali society with intolerance.
There's a battle for hearts and minds going on here. The fundamentalists are outspending their opponents. For the moment, they have the upper hand. News came that it was safe for us to return to Mogadishu. $700 in blood money had changed hands. It was Friday and President Abdi Qasim had been praying in the mosque. There were fresh rumors that the Americans were about to bomb.
Shinka anka hadlayo sheeka kii u mudayo Shangani soo arag maanta Shangani I am sorry Shangani I am sorry Shangani soo arag maanta Bondere soo arag maanta Wardiigle soo arag maanta Tiyaatar soo arag maanta Muqdisho I am sorry Muqdisho Somalia, I am sorry. Somalia, I am sorry. Shakabanan kawaye, Shubaka kumanola, Sharera fona queda, Uruba shetadera, Ninkishu huda manta. Maka so shumeso Shangani I am sorry Shangani I am sorry Shukri ya Allah Shukri ya Rahman Shukri ya Rahim Shangani I am sorry Shangani I am sorry
Shangani na titina kabaho ya titin ha والله شنقاني نتيتينا قبحوا يا تيتين والله شنقاني وصعتها والله وراود ضوء عوديك وإذا وراود ضوء يا حاسكي بدك صباح شنغاني اسكو هويا اريجي او اسكابولا شنغاني اسكو هويا مكولاشي قراب شنغاني اسكو هويا ماشان فيريا ماشان فيريا
bixi waa banaadire burburkaan ku daariyo boholaha lagaa qoday boocbooca kaa baxay bahalaha ku hoos nool siday kaaga buuxan naftu soo kamay baqin banaadire salaamiga buusbuuska laga furay baasta iyo bariis shahbigaysa lagu gado bbc lagu sugo booto lagu ilaaliyo siday kaaga buuxan naftu soo kamay baqin banaadire shanbaaxad weylaho bacyaalii calay badan buura buura laga dhigay beesa badanna lagu rabo buntuq lagu ilaaliyo siday kaaga buuxan naftu soo kamay baqin banaadire baroomada waxlaayiyo baabuurta beela loo caymi bara badan burcadaan la qaban karin siday kaaga buuxan naftu soo kamay baqin banaadire siday kaaga buuxan naftu soo kamay baqin banaadire siday kaaga buuxan naftu soo kamay baqin banaadire
J'ai vu sa tête, je l'ai raté. Et les deux autres qui étaient sur le mur, est-ce qu'ils ont tiré? Faites attention, nous ne sommes pas encore arrivés. Ne me filme pas, toi. Ce ne sont pas des gens de Mogadiscio, ce sont des gens armés qui s'imposent dans cette ville, ce sont des étrangers qui nous ont tiré dessus. Ils ne veulent absolument pas que vous les filmiez, c'est mauvais pour eux. Ils ne veulent pas que vous puissiez les voir. Pourtant, le discours du gouvernement provisoire et de ses alliés se veut rassurant. Il reste à Mogadiscio la Ligue des droits de l'homme, représentée par une somalienne, alors que toutes les ONG ont quitté le pays après les menaces de bombardement américains contre les États ou régions censés abriter des camps d'entraînement liés au groupe Al-Qaïda de Ben Laden. Une exposition de peintures d'artistes somaliens vaut plus que n'importe quel discours. D'ailleurs, la présidente ne veut pas parler.
You are afraid from what?
I am afraid the art of government.
Mohamed Mouaïdine Ali est journaliste. Il a été menacé par le gouvernement pour la parution d'un de ses articles. Mais heureusement pour lui, une mort provisoire y a même fait un grand discours il y a quelques mois. L'ambassade des États-Unis. Ici, dans ce quartier de la capitale, pas une ONG. Personne. Aucune aide ne vient. Les habitants ne peuvent compter que sur eux-mêmes.
On n'a rien à boire, nous n'avons pas d'aide. Mes enfants n'ont rien. Nous avons dû fuir et refuir les combats. Nous sommes les Benadiri. Nous n'avons pas pris les armes. Nous n'avons pas participé à cette guerre. Nous avons fait que la subir. Nous en avons assez. Nous demandons de l'aide au monde. Il faut que les milices puissent être désarmées. J'espère que Dieu nous ramènera un gouvernement honnête, que nous pourrons vivre en paix et que les autres gouvernements du monde pourront nous entendre. Nous sommes des pauvres, nous voudrions travailler. Nos garçons sont devenus des vagabonds, ils glandent. Ils sont dans la rue devant leur porte à rien faire. Personne ne nous donne rien. En ce moment même, alors que je vous parle, je n'ai rien à manger.
Life J, shoe shine.
What?
Shoe shine, life J, shoe shine. I'm not.
Je n'ai pas pu aller à l'hôpital.
I am not bleeding. Every day is sitting. I'm not burbling very well. No money, no job, no work.
Qui vous a blessé? Pour ne plus souffrir, je prends d'alcool à boire. Et qui a tiré sur vous? Je me suis fait avoir dans la zone gardée par les hommes de l'ancien président, Ali Maïd.